Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Thursday's KVJ After the Show podcast. Good to have y'all here. Getting close to that weekend, baby. One more day.
You guys do anything fun?
What am I doing this weekend? I think Panda's got to work a little late tomorrow. So that's Friday is not going to be anything fun. He's not going to be home till late. But I think on Sunday, we're going to be watching football, and Panda is going to drink some beer with me.
Oh, yeah?
We went and got some, because the only thing he'll ever do is maybe have a little bit of beer if it's the chocolate peanut butter porter stout variety.
Oh, my God. Those things, that's a good way to crap your pants.
They are heavy.
They are.
They are thick, but I'm just happy he's going to drink beer with me. So we're going to drink a little beer if the NFL game he wants to watch doesn't get canceled.
Imagine drinking 3 of those thick beer and then someone just kicking you right in the stomach. You would be...
That'll happen a lot of times, actually, at a bar.
You need
drink
new
a heavy beer and
friends.
get kicked in the stomach.
I'm just saying, I think it would really go through you, no? It's a thick beer.
Yeah, there's football stuff this weekend. I love the falls because my weekends are always planned. I know what I'm doing. Got some good games, including Miami Hurricanes. They got a big game taking on Clemson Tigers, and it'll be one of two different things. I probably expect, because the Miami Hurricanes have looked amazing to start off the season, and, you know, they keep saying this, and it's so annoying. The Canes are back. Because once upon a time in the 80s and in part of the 90s and even into the early 2000s, the Canes, they've got 5 national championships. Like, they were unstoppable. They were the ones that had the dancing, and they would just obnoxious. They were so much better than everybody else, Virginia, and they knew it. And they beat the best teams.
Wow.
And so Canes fans are always, and when the Canes are really good, their fans get exponentially a lot more obnoxious. You know, you look up in the stands, and none of these people went to the University of Miami. They're just ragamuffins up there, and it's just crazy, and they're chaotic. And when they get great, they all start showing back up again. And so the Canes are starting to, they've had a couple hints, and they keep saying over the last couple of years, Canes are back, U's back. And then they fall apart, and they look terrible, and then you're like, okay, never mind. So now they've started off great again this year, and they're like, the Canes are back. And they take on number 1 Clemson on Saturday night. And if Clemson just kicks the shit out of them, you're going to be like, okay, never mind. So, but if they do well and even shock the world, Virginia, this is how the Canes start. If they beat Clemson on Saturday, the Canes are back. It's big stuff. I don't think they will, but, the Canes fans will be very obnoxious next week.
Is Clemson a really good team? Are they like
number 1? You don't get any higher than that.
I mean, but are they tight?
What?
Do they look good?
Are their buttholes tight?
Are their pants tight?
What are you talking about? They tight?
I don't know. I'm trying to have a sports conversation with Kevin. Go sit at the kids' table. Adults are talking.
The kids have the best food. I will gladly always sit at the kids' table.
Tight.
I don't know anything about the U.
Kevin, is it tight? What? Their buttholes? What are you talking about?
Okay, so anyway, yes, we'll see how that goes. Somebody said, Rashid, wow, just like a Buckeye, I talk crap about the Canes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get him.
So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. So that is going on this weekend. So you got that game. You got Florida and Texas A&M. So the Gators have a game. I think they will probably whoop Texas A&M, but that'll be interesting as well. So some good college games. And then, pro, we'll have to see what's going on because there's a little bit of corona running wild in the NFL. A little bit.
Well, hopefully they'll tackle it.
Yes. You could only hope. Yeah, the Dolphins are struggling a bit. They're 1-3. Your Bills Or at least Panda's Bills are doing great.
I know. He's very excited.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the stage is set perfectly for a heartbreaking choking.
Don't say that.
I hope he's not listening. I'm just kidding, Panda.
When the Bills win, everybody in my house wins.
Sure.
I had some friends that were Dolphin fans and would hang out on the weekend, and the Dolphins would lose, and it's almost like we were dating. I'm, come on, baby, it's gonna be okay. It's just the Dolphins.
Shut up.
Yeah, they don't get all emotional about it.
Honestly,
You don't know, Bird.
I'm like, fuck, we're not dating. Can we go out and have fun?
I don't get, and I'm more of a college football fan than I am NFL, but I still like NFL. But I don't get NFL fans that get so distraught when you lose a game, unless that game is the Super Bowl. Because in the NFL, you can lose like 6 or 7 games and still make the playoffs. So if you're destroyed, you could have a team that just still makes the playoffs and be destroyed 5 or 6 weekends out of the football season. Like, why? Dude, you're fine. You can lose games in the NFL. It's not that big of a deal.
It's the same thing when I see people panic in baseball. 162 fucking games in a season, Virginia. There's time to come. Now, of course, you can get in a hole where it's so bad. But in the beginning, when people panic, oh, we lost 3 in a row. 162 games, bitch. Sit down.
The Bills have a big one on Sunday, 1 o'clock. They take on the Titans. Titans are 3-0, Bills are 4-0, so that's going to be a good game.
I think the Titans are the ones with all the corona.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's why I said the corona have been running wild. And I think I even saw a blurb today. They had another positive test. So they're trying to get that under control.
The Corona Titans?
I mean, that's how you beat everybody. You bring the corona. No one wants to touch you, tackle you, nothing.
When they come up to tackle, you just breathe.
I don't know if I'd want to play the Titans if all of them got the corona.
You should. You got antibodies.
It's true.
Dolphins are not home. They're traveling to San Francisco to take on the 2-2 49ers, 4 o'clock on Sunday. So that's what you got. And Amanda sent an email from Crazy Horse Saloon. If you don't know, that's a Buffalo Bills bar.
I know that was the first place I ever played music out in public. It was me, my dad, and my buddy JR.
Aww.
It was an open mic, and the people did not like us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But look at you now.
It was great. It was a really good story because they had a house band there. It was an open mic thing, and they had a house band there. And the drummer was running the whole house band. And we all of a sudden we're playing. This son of a bitch gets on the drums and starts playing over our music, and we were all confused. It was weird.
Well, whenever Corona is over, you should do a march back to your past.
I love that place. That's a fun place. I love it there. Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
I bet you if you got up there and did music in 2021, it would be huge.
Oh, yeah. People would still boo, but yeah, it'd be big. The boos would just be bigger.
Now, the Dolphins are gone in San Francisco this Sunday. But the big question will be, when did they really start opening up the stadium and allowing more people in? Now, right now, the Dolphins have just been allowing 13,000 in attendance. And this is odd because they've capped it at 13,000, yet their average is 11,722 through 2 home games. So if they've been allowing 13,000 and their average is, not even 12,000, does that mean they're not able to hit that mark?
Maybe they count all the players too? Like they sold this many tickets.
There's not 1,000 players, though.
I don't know. Staff.
I was just wondering why there is a deficit between that, because you would think if they're allowing 13,000 in attendance, certainly you can get 13,000 people that would pay to come see the Dolphins, or more likely who they're playing, right?
Maybe they count employees, staff, players, coaches, all that in that big number.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out because, the Dolphins could go full capacity now if they wanted to.
But they said they didn't want to.
Yeah, Governor Ron DeSantis said, you guys can go 65,000 if you want. Pack the stadium today. I don't care. Do it. Go for it. In fact, the same goes for Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. He's saying today you can pack that stadium. I just don't know that the Dolphins can, and right now they said, we're going to stick to the 13,000 at least for the Chargers game coming up on October 25th.
It's probably such a huge pivot for just staffing.
Maybe.
That, you can't tell somebody on a Thursday that on Sunday they can go back to full capacity. They're not there.
Or I wonder if you're like going, well, we're not even able to get 13,000 right now. Because it is a different time.
Let's hope it's staffing.
You are talking about just because you can doesn't mean people will show. That, I think, is the ultimate question. And I think you'll start seeing that first. That'll be the question that we have as we try to get out of the era of coronavirus. Places will be like, hey, we're open up, full capacity, and they'll be half full. And it's not because of restrictions. It's because people still are like, I'm not going out. That ain't worth it. Not going to do it. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, too, to see, a lot of people believe that the pandemic has been politicized. We've only got until early November. Less than a month.
To the end of the world. Or to the
end of the world.
To the election, I mean. People are going to handle it great.
Yeah. And then I guess we can find out, okay, does coronavirus go away or is it still a big fighting point?
There's a big...
Yeah. That'd be fascinating to see.
A lot of people are talking Virginia, and they got a lot of things, a lot of different opinions.
I guess that was the big first attack that happened last night, the VP debate that happened. Kamala Harris and Mike Pence went at it. I just saw the highlights of the fly in his hair, and somebody had sent out this tweet and then mailed it to us. The VP debates will forever be known as the night of the fly, pink eye, and lies. And I'm like, did somebody make this for Virginia, or are they stealing our act?
No, so...
What was the pink eye and lies? Well, the lies, I guess I can understand.
Okay,
but
so
what
right
was pink eye?
Right after the debate, because I did watch it, and I believe it was ABC, one of the news stations, I forget. They said, but the main thing people were talking about on social media was, did Vice President Mike Pence have pink eye? And then they zoom in to his eyeball.
No way,
I
really?
didn't have the biggest close-up I've ever seen of an eyeball.
I don't know if they messed with the picture I saw, but in the picture I saw, dude looked like he got pink eye.
Well, here's the thing. They said... Does he have pink eye? And then she goes, it could be pink eye, or he could have a lot of makeup in his eyeball.
In his eyeball.
It could be. They said it's either pink eye or it's makeup.
It could be makeup, because if you don't wear makeup and then you get it in your eye, that can absolutely happen.
Well, that's what was weird. Was some of the news people were really acting like they knew for a fact it was pink eye, and they didn't. They really did not know. They were.
But isn't pink eye one of the things with COVID?
That's what they were saying.
Oh,
but then they go, but
there's a pink eye COVID connection.
But it could also easily be makeup. They don't know. And as the news, if you don't know, you shouldn't fucking say. You really should. This isn't the
good luck with that.
Well, exactly.
The cat's out the bag.
Yeah.
They're all saying whatever the
they're
hell they want. Fact be gone.
It seems like every news broadcast starts with, my opinion is. All right, okay, I guess it's an editorial piece.
We got an email here about movies no one has seen. Somebody said, What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. Nobody seems to have ever seen that movie, but it's fantastic. Okay, I have not seen that. Anybody seen that?
No, it sounds like wet dreams may come.
Wet Dreams May Come.
Well, they might.
That sounds like a porn title, doesn't it?
I saw that a long time ago. That movie is highly depressing.
Oh, really?
Say the title again?
What Dreams May Come.
It's a bizarre movie.
Yeah, he did a few.
It's weird, but I think it's good. It's going to put you in a weird headspace.
Okay, yeah, I think he's done some darker movies, and I've not seen any of them.
I like him when he does darker movies.
Okay.
Same thing with Jim Carrey, though. I like the
Spotless Mind one that he did. Was that a dark one?
Adam Sandler too. When the comedians do serious stuff and they do it good, I mean, it's Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams is amazing.
That is good, and I did enjoy that one.
1 Hour Photo, where he plays a lunatic.
Oh, 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams is great.
His name's Cy. It's a weird, bizarre
movie. It's so
movie.
bizarre. I loved it.
And he does a great job as a weirdo.
Yeah.
I never did that one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I think you'd like that one, Kev.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I highly recommend 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams.
Okay. And is this so old that they were actually taking in your film to get developed?
Yeah. It was the early.
It was.
Had it been like 2002, 2003, maybe older. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're right. They were getting their photos developed.
Fascinating. This is an interesting perspective here. the comments that we got today. We had an email that somebody had sent in. When they were a teenager, their mom remarried. The stepdad was a creepy dude that kept
dirtbag.
Yeah, would make advances at her. One time, actually kissed her on the lips. She told her mom. Her mom didn't believe her. She left home as soon as she could. And now in her 30s, her mom and stepdad are getting evicted because of pandemic stuff. And she is the only sibling that's got an extra place or a room for them to stay. And she said no, and her other siblings don't get it. And they're like, oh, you're such an a-hole that you wouldn't put mom up and you're going to have her live on the streets. We don't have a place to. She's never told anybody else in the family about that. And it was interesting because people said that's actually kind of typical that, you know, she'd taken it to her mom once upon a time. Mom didn't believe her. And so she doesn't tell her siblings. And I'm like, why wouldn't you? Or why would you have a hesitation? Because once you're doubted once, you just... that's with you, and you're like, well, if my mom's not going to believe me, why would my siblings or anybody else?
Well, it probably fucks you up on so many different levels. Not only your family, you probably can't. You probably think no one believes you on so many different levels. Friends, co-workers, because the person that's supposed to protect you the most isn't believing you.
It was interesting to hear all the texts that we got on that today because so many people shared that story. I couldn't believe how many people were texting in, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is my life. I've lived this. I know exactly what she's going through. And Jason in the Pickle Squad said, as most of you know, I work in law enforcement. I love my job. Our academy class was made up of roughly 30 people, and it was split right down the middle. We had like 15 men, 15 women, all different races and backgrounds, and we were in the domestic violence, sex crimes portion of our academy when something profound happened. A girl in the back corner of the class started crying, and it got the attention of the rest of the class, and she was embarrassed, and she got up and left the room. Then another girl got up crying, and then another girl. In total, there were 5 women in our class that had been the victims of some form of abuse from a quote-unquote loved one.
Oh, my.
You could even look around the room and see the guys who had also been victims, and a few even spoke up. I've been an officer for 3 years, and I've seen the worst parts of society. It is very important to know that if you or anyone else you know has been a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault, you are not alone. Reach out to them and embrace them and help them.
Great email, Jason.
Absolutely.
And we said a little bit on the show earlier. I think we're living in a time now where people want to help somebody. Just you got to. If your family isn't believing you or not listening to you, there are people who will outside of your family. We're living in a different time, I feel.
And all of these secrets need to come to light. You cannot let him get away with this behavior.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
You can't have everybody in the family giving you the label of the bad guy because that's not reality, and they need to get the facts.
Yeah.
And tell your mom to move in with you.
Yep. And if your mom still doesn't want to believe you, you at least know in your heart you did all you could. You told the truth. And unfortunately, she's lost.
Yes.
Got an email here from Casey that said, I was listening to your show yesterday and the topic of dreams with loved ones after they had passed came up. And this hit home for me because I had a friend take his own life at the beginning of September. And I had a dream with him in it this past Sunday where I woke up with him holding my hand. Now, this is the 3rd time in my life that this has happened. Always after a traumatic death and one that has affected me deeply. I've also had ghost experiences in the past, and my friends say that I have a connection to the spirit world, but I've never thought to explore it. Would you explore this if you've had this odd connection?
Yes. Obviously, I have done that. And yeah, you can work on your abilities.
Yeah, no doubt. Virginia was talking a little bit about that yesterday, about her friend. That was interesting to just say that he had that nature and he actually had prayed for the gift and then he continued to work on it. And the more that he kind of got into it, it was like the more in focus his visions got.
Totally. And he got better at figuring out what was real messages and what was static in his own brain.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do any of this stuff because I don't want the gift. I think it would be a burden. I want nothing to do with it. I got enough problems with living people talking to me. I certainly don't want no dead people talking to me. But he did. And so he got coaching from other mediums that said, okay, this is what you should be doing. This is how you should be talking to the spirit world. This is what you shouldn't do.
I personally believe we all have some kind of ability like that. I think there's probably a spectrum of people who have it higher than others. And I think there's people who can work towards it too. I think we are constantly ignoring signs, signals, messages on the reg.
Because we're busy.
We're living in such a busy time. And I think the human brain is just designed to constantly think. You know, when do you ever really stay in the now and present? It's the easiest thing to say, but the hardest thing to do. You got to practice that shit. Staying in the moment. If you're always thinking about the past, you know, or thinking of the future.
Or the future. How am I going to blow it tomorrow on the show?
That gives you anxiety. Looking in the past gives you depression.
Damn.
Casey listens to us in Milwaukee. She said, you make me laugh hard at all your antics on the show, and your relationships with each other are top notch. So thank you, Casey, for listening in Milwaukee.
Nice. You ever been there?
No, it's one of the few cities I haven't gone, and one of these years, I pray it happens, they have a summer fest that they do like in June with great bands, and I think I would really like Milwaukee. I love those kind of towns. You know, I grew up not far from Cincinnati and Kansas City. I feel like a lot of those kind of Midwest towns like that would have similar vibes, because I know there are similarities to some of those towns in the Midwest, and I love them. They're great people. They love their sports. They love their town. They love their family. They usually are generational. They love drinking beer typically. And
cheese.
They're just great. Yeah, there's something about those cities. And I love South Florida, but my biggest knock on South Florida is it doesn't have that because it's so transient. And those cities, your Pittsburghs and these towns, the Clevelands even, from one generation to the next, I'm sure Buffalo's the same, and I've been to Buffalo, but I've not really hung with people. There is something amazing about that because everybody knows everybody through generations, and I knew, you know, your grandparents and your grandparents were friends with my grandparents, and those things are great. So
and
I
you
think,
all cheer for the same sports team.
Yes, there's something about that is absolutely uniting and amazing to be in that thread in that community, and I imagine Milwaukee's that, so I think I would love it.
Yeah, people are very nice in Milwaukee unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, okay. That's where he's from?
The Milwaukee Cannibal, or the Milwaukee Monster, as they would call him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, thank you for your murderous notes.
Yeah.
I'll be here all day.
You're always up on that murder tip.
And you're always up on the entertainment tip. So where are we at now, dog?
I like entertainment. You like to murder.
You got to stop that rumor.
Got an email here saying, I've been dating this guy for about 2 months, and we have been doing the dirty since then. My problem is that I haven't, quote unquote, finished once. I go home that night and I finish things myself.
Oh, boy.
We can fix this.
He claims he loves...
What are you going to do, go over?
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
Are you going to tag yourself in?
I got this.
Yeah. He claims he loves to go down, but hasn't. I've talked to him, and he said that the next time he would, and it hasn't happened. Is this something that I should break up with him over, or am I being crazy and should not mention it again?
Now, I'm not trying to be crass at all, but is it possible, if he loves to do this, are we dealing with the stank tank?
The stank pank?
The stank tank. Tank.
It's a tank?
Yeah,
not a tank.
It's a love tank. It's a love. Do you fill it
The
up?
stink
You
pig?
fill it up?
The stank
What are you
tank.
filling it up with?
Do I really have to draw a picture here?
Don't say tank.
I guess I should say, is there an odor problem going on here?
Yes. Girl, is your taco fish instead of meat?
Aha. It's a good analogy.
So not everybody wants a fish taco.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Some people may love to do that, but if it is, you know, not smelling.
Is it like, okay, sometimes like when you try to smell your breath, like it's hard to do.
You smell your own coot.
Can you queef and cup it? And...
I don't think you can. I think it's different.
I certainly can't queef on command.
But a bad smell would definitely, I'm not saying you have that, but that would definitely deter somebody from
Yeah.
going downtown.
Yeah, that would be question number one. Okay, now let's move past that, and it's not that.
Okay, well then if
She
he's
smells like roses.
if he's not even going down on her, that's actually a good thing. 'Cause imagine if he does add that into the game. He does that for a good 15 to 20 mins or whatever you like. And then he gets the oven ready, and I think we're gonna have an orgasm at that point. Can I get an amen on that?
Well, that's what she thinks, and that's what she wants, and it's just he hasn't done it. So she's like, "Do I keep bringing it up?"
But yeah, going down on the girl, I think is a big tool. It's a big pitch in the arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. If you've brought it up a couple times, that's why I am a fan of the 69. You can't cheat on the 69 because we all got to be in it together.
Yeah.
It's so busy.
You're so vanilla. God, it's so busy. Oh, it's 2 heads. That's it. 69,
It's a lot.
69. It is the
You gotta-
American pastime that's been forgotten. Damn it.
You got to be flexible and balanced.
You don't.
and-
You just got to be comfortable. You don't have to be that. I'm not that flexible.
It's a lot.
So vanilla. Both of you. I work with vanilla coworkers. Neither one of you 69.
I would love to hear Kevin try to get this queen to 69 tonight.
that would-
That would be funny.
Yeah, he has a better shot of
Yeah.
getting pregnant himself than him getting a
You're
69.
right. The odds probably are better.
We should do that. We should do contrast and compare. You go home and ask for 69, and I'll go home and ask for 69.
Yeah, it would definitely be a different response. There's no doubt.
I like what ADS in the chat room says. When me and my wifey's 69, it's like a competition. It's really hard to continue when it feels so good. But that's good, though. You guys are in it together.
Yeah.
You're dancing, baby. You're dancing.
It's a lot of fun, but it's getting both parties on board, and you don't have both parties on board. And I think that's ultimately what the question is here. What do you got to do to recruit the other person to get as enthusiastic about it as you are?
Well, let me ask her this. Is she giving him a blow piece? Because if she's doing that and he's not doing it back to her, let's reel in these blowjobs. I'm sorry. Blowjobless until we start
Did you like that? Do you want another one? Then yeah, here's what you got to do.
You got to scratch my snatch, you scratch mine?
Don't scratch my snatch.
All right, you're right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that would be.
It's very sensitive down there.
I didn't mean it.
Tender.
This
bear claw over here
Oh,
coming
with
at
them
it.
hooks, can you imagine
This Furby hat's on will
that? Oh my
fight.
gosh, you tear it to shreds.
Bear Claw Pennington.
Oh my goodness.
You
Can you imagine having to go to your gyno with that? He's like, what happened? Did you sleep with a bear?
It sounds like this is new, right? The potentially 69 couple we were just talking about.
Relatively, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Okay, he also sounds like a lazy lover, and if he's not gonna get with this, push him to the curb. You
Yeah,
have
I think
needs.
that's what her question is. I think that's where she is. Just how much more do I keep bringing this up? And we don't know how much you have, but I think it's worthy and worth laying it out clearly, so that there's no doubt. Be like, I never knew you felt that way. Well, don't ever leave that. Be like going, I'm making this crystal clear, and communicate about things like that, about your expectations and desires. And then when you do dump him, be like, hey, remember how I told you how this was very important and nothing changed? Well, it was important enough that I don't want to continue on a relationship with you. And then they should not be the least bit surprised or upset. And if they are, screw them, walk away, and you're good.
Well, that's when he tells you, oh, by the way, you got a stink pink.
Barring that,
Got to make sure that thing ain't stanky.
if we're not doing if it's not stinky, that means he's just a lazy lover, and you don't want that.
Because you've already said something to him, and he hasn't done this, and he knows that you would like this. So there's a massive disconnect. And I would say he probably doesn't like doing it. And when he tells you he does, he's lying.
So do I have consent to ask you a sex question?
Maybe. Yes.
Do you like it when a guy does that to you?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all right.
I get points back in your group.
Well, I was going to say, if you also don't have that in your repertoire, I mean, you just, what are you, 90?
Oh my gosh, there's so many crude things I can say right now.
It's the podcast, dog. I thought we could say what we want to say.
Yeah, I don't have to have my hand on the dump button.
That's going to be relaxing
That
for
is.
you.
It takes one extra little thought and strain off my life. So that part is nice.
I think me and Virginia are saying, dump his ass.
Something's not right. There's a massive disconnect when you tell a guy specifically what you want in the bedroom and he doesn't give it to you.
And he says he loves it, and he's not. Believe me, if this guy loved doing it, he would be doing it.
So either he's lying to you about loving it or you got a stink pink.
This is what Keith said. He's selfish. She's shellfish. Shellfish. Keith, that's the comment of the day. That's very well written.
That is so good.
She's shellfish.
Nice job, Keith.
Amazing.
Very
Is that
nice.
engineer Keith?
No, I don't think so.
Different Keith?
I can't tell. Every time I look in the pictures for the YouTube chat room are so small, and I get people's names wrong all the time. So I don't know if it's Engineer Keith.
His name could be Carl.
It's Keith Bartles in the chat room, but that was a great job.
Very nice. Okay. Well, we got one more day of this left. We will be back here tomorrow to kick off your weekend. You guys have an amazing Thursday. We will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.